Louis Vuitton make expensive products, and that includes their fragrances. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys an article that I read in the Financial Times. It was a really interesting article. They interviewed the perfumer Jacques Cavallier. They focus on their bespoke range of fragrances and talk about the market and the market for fragrances. There's also a little bit in there from the chief executive of the brand. So it was a really interesting read. I wanted to share it with you guys. Stay tuned to find out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Raj here. I hope all of you out there are doing well. Today, I'll be sharing with you an article that I read in this weekend's Financial Times, specifically the Life and Arts section. It was a good read. I'm going to do a little close-up so you can see what the article's all about. There we go. They've got a little picture there of Jacques Cavallier, and they've also got a picture there of the leather case that you can get if you choose to go down the bespoke route with Vuitton. It was a good read. So yeah, I've done these types of videos before. I do have a playlist called Fragrance Articles, and I don't do these videos very often, mainly because it's not very often that I read about fragrances in newspapers, magazines, that kind of thing. But now and again, or mainly on the rare occasion whenever I find them, I like to share them with you guys. So if you want to look back at previous videos I've done, go to my channel, click on playlists, and you'll see them all lined up there. Okay, so let's get into the article. As you just saw, the title is Sense of Self. Louis Vuitton launches bespoke fragrance. It's written by Carola Long. And it says here, the costing upwards of 60,000 euros. The service highlights the growth of personalization in luxury. And when it comes to luxury, LV are definitely up there. So when it comes to actually LV fragrances, I've tried a few on paper. I've never really dived into the brand. I definitely don't own any bottles. If you are somebody who owns fragrances from the brand, let me know. What do you think? It took a while for LV to get into the game of luxury fragrances, but they're here now. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Which ones are your favorites from the line? Let's get into the article. Okay, so it goes as follows. There's a certain romance to the idea of a bespoke scent, the complexities of a character aromatically expressed. Generally, they are the preserve of niche perfumers, but now luxury mega brand Louis Vuitton is aiming to take the trial and error out of finding that dream olfactory match with its new custom-tailored fragrance service from a mere 60,000 euros. That's an incredible amount of money to spend, but there's a lot of wealth out there, owned by very few people, it has to be said, but people spend this type of money, I guess. So they do an interview with, or Jacques Cavallier is interviewed here. He's the perfumer, and there were some really interesting insights here. So he says, when you are out of the room, they will say she was there, or he was there if you're a man. Says Vuitton master perfumer Jacques Cavallier-Belletrud. I didn't realize that Cavallier was his middle name. And yeah, and that's what he hopes to achieve. The amiable character of such bestsellers as Jean-Paul Gaultier Classique and L'Eau d'Essai. So L'Eau d'Essai, obviously, real classic fragrance. He did the men's version and maybe the women's version, I'm not sure. Who joined Vuitton in 2012, is talking to me over Zoom from his atelier in Grasse, the historic home of perfumery on the French Riviera. I, meanwhile, am in the personal shopping rooms of Vuitton's Bond Street flagship, which is in London. It's a really big store. I haven't actually been in, but I've seen it from outside. It's very big, very shiny, and there's always a queue to get in. Flagship store next to an upright leather case containing 97 little glass bottles of raw scents from rose to oud Assam. And the focus on ingredients actually is mentioned here in here. So this Malle de Consultation resembles a chic take on a 19th century apothecary's traveling trunk of medicine vials. In an ideal non-COVID world, I would have traveled to Grasse for a consultation with Cavallier, a standard part of the bespoke service offered to clients. His workshop is within the elegant plant-filled Les Fontaines Parfumées estate, purchased by Louis Vuitton in 2013 as a base for its perfume creation. So I didn't realize that they had been investing for a while, and I guess preparing for this launch on the market of their fragrances, which have been out for a few years. I think it says in here 2016. I think I read that. So it goes on to say, the service launches in January, and because of travel restrictions, it's likely many consultations will take place over Zoom, with the client going to their nearest Vuitton store to smell different ingredients as they talk to Cavallier. It takes around a year to receive the finished result. What would be really good, and I'm going to give you my thoughts at the end, is what are your thoughts on bespoke fragrances? Have you ever done anything like this, even on a smaller scale or more budget friendly? Let me know your thoughts, guys, or your experiences. So he says, what kind of cooking do you like? What is the best memory of your childhood? Why do you wear perfume? What perfume do you hate? I'm trying to answer these questions as Cavallier demonstrates his process, and it turns out to be quite soul-searching. Good luck to anyone trying to make sense, or indeed sense, of my nostalgia for the smell of dark wood furniture, a loathing of Thierry Mugler's Angel, a liking for Thai food and crumpets, interesting mix, and a sudden inability to recall which smells I like beyond French Pharmacy Moisturizer and Jo Malone Cream Calèche by Hermès. Cavallier says, maybe the perfume will reveal some parts of you that you don't know, he says mysteriously. We start smelling ingredients which are noticeably more delicious and evocative than most perfume counter products. He says, the quality of the ingredients we put in our perfumes is much higher than the competition, and I know that because I have worked for the competition. So an interesting insight there. Maybe it's all just marketing, but I don't know. Feels genuine. Says Cavallier, the Jasmine Absolute costs around 135,000 euros per kilo, and the Oud Assam is 36,000 euros per kilo, so actually cheaper there. It transpires that I love Cassis, blackcurrant, which is, as Cavallier says, is fruity but not sticky, and makes a perfume dance. And jasmine, which smells like no jasmine I'm familiar with, it's much subtler and less cloying. He used supercritical CO2 extraction, whatever that means, don't really know, previously not used on fresh flowers, whereby plants are bathed in cold gas to preserve the purity of the real flower. If there are any chemists out there, can you let me know what all of this means? I have no idea. I'm not really I'm more of a numbers guy than science. Yeah. So the vanilla is similarly fresh and refined, cozy but not cupcake. And of course there is leather infusion, made from the natural leather used on the handles of Vuitton's trunks. It's quite rude, wild and dirty, he says, but in very small amounts it brings sophistication. You won't smell like a trunk, Cavallier says. The launch of a bespoke fragrance service has more consistency with Vuitton's overall business than just a tannery whiff. It taps into the service and personalization that is a priority for the house, which designed bespoke trunks for sneakers, DJ equipment, and cocktail kits. Personalization today is the key to luxury, and it will be the key tomorrow, especially in perfume. We see a lot of clients complaining that all perfumes smell the same. My goal is to deliver something like haute couture, something without limits, which today is the mission of the luxury brand, he adds. And yeah, a lot of people just want to stand out. They want to be different to the crowd. To be honest, I feel in the world of fragrances, especially niche fragrances, there are so many out there. I think there are a lot of unique compositions if you go searching for them. And to be honest, I'm still not sold on the idea of spending thousands and thousands of pounds or euros or dollars on a fragrance when there's a lot of choice out there already, and there are a lot of great fragrances, but I can see the appeal. Sitting down with a perfumer, going through exactly your memories, going through exactly what you want, and them executing it. Maybe, yeah. So it's a unique experience for sure. The couture price tag includes several consultations, your custom scent, which in an impressive show of faith in the longevity of luxury is guaranteed to be available forever, and a personalized trunk holding 4 100ml bottles, 3 200ml, 100ml travel case, and multiple smaller travel sprays of varying size, one for each home, car, or jet. Just don't think about the cost per spritz. So the chief executive says, "We all know that wealth is concentrating," explains Louis Vuitton chief executive Michael Burke on a call. "Today, the luxury players that are doing well are the ones that have played the card of ultimate luxury. Those in the middle who want to be everything to everyone, those are the houses that are suffering right now. Customization is part of that uber luxury." So I guess people who can afford this level of luxury want more and more and more, and want to keep accelerating into that rarefied atmosphere, I guess that's how it works. Presumably, this intimate service will also give Vuitton invaluable insights into the highest spending clients. That's what I consider market research, says Burke. He believes there is a real need for personal relationships between house and clients. We have very few people who buy only one trunk. Some people buy one every birthday, others buy a whole new set when they get divorced. Made to order has the highest growth rate of anything we do. If you guys have ever bought anything made to order or anything from LV, what do you think? I don't own anything myself, but let me know your thoughts, guys. Will this new bespoke fragrance service itself make money? Everything is profitable at Vuitton, says Burke. We don't believe in doing business just for PR purposes. If you do that, you will never make money, and if something does not make money, there is something wrong with the product. Every product has to be desirable. The company's exciting fragrance line relaunched in 2016. So I wasn't really... Okay, so it says relaunched actually in 2016. I wasn't aware of Vuitton fragrances existing before then. To me, they're very, very new on the market, but I'm not sure. Relaunched in 2016 is a significant part of sales at Vuitton, more than we expected. It is the most affordable object you can purchase in the store. At £200 for a fragrance such as Le Jour se lève, a deliciously fresh mix of mandarin, jasmine and blackcurrant, they are already at the high end, in a similar price range to Tom Ford's Private Blend and Chanel's L'Exclusive ranges, which helped spearhead the rise of prestige fragrances. Burke says that a few years ago, everybody asked him why the brand was spending so much effort and so much money on something that's only going to work in Europe and a bit in America. It turns out that a third of our perfume business is in Asia. So, emerging markets, a lot of new wealth in that part of the world. People want to spend money, and a fragrance is, for a lot of people, quite cheap at this, if you're in that world. Vuitton is clearly looking to build its reputation in the fragrance world where it doesn't have the heritage of, say, Chanel or Dior. Very true. However, Burke denies the brand's reputation is less stellar in the field. He says, the jewelry business poo-pooed Louis Vuitton's desire to become a fully fledged jeweler. And lo and behold, here we are. We have earned our place on Place Vendôme, which is a really lovely part of Paris. We hired the best designer, Francesca Amphitheatroff, which I guess means amphitheater. Okay. Just like Jacques is recognized as one of the most creative noses in the industry. I might have to do a bit of research into who this Francesca lady is. Sounds like she could be quite promising, and I guess she's been involved quite heavily with the brand. If you guys know about her work, again, let me know. The scents Jacques came out with originally were for people who had bought everything else before. They were not easy florals, they were quite amazing compositions, like music. Some were quite niche, but that's what you do when you are a perfumer, not a marketer. For me, says Cavallier, the first rule is to create something with a lot of sophistication, as befits someone steeped in high luxury, who regards cost as just part of the small print, he says, feelings and emotions are not a matter of money, it's more than an accessory. When you take off your clothes, you are still wearing your perfume. So guys, let me know your thoughts on bespoke fragrances, this article, Louis Vuitton's fragrances. Also, if you're not aware, I now have a Buy Me a Coffee page where you can make a contribution to myself. 20% of that goes to Cancer Research UK. So if you'd like to make a donation to a really good cause, and also support me if you are a fan of the content I've been putting out over the years, that would be appreciated. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.